Another one, and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing some Bant Toxic. It's mainly a blue-white Toxic list, but we are playing the Rot Priest to get that extra target poison that we need, and using the March of the Swirling Mist to kind of have that one-punch KO with the Rot Priest on targeting a lot of our permanents. I am not the creator of this deck. Game night. Yeah, I keep wanting to say game nights, like multiple nights. But Game Night played this in a standard challenge, which was hosted on MTGO or Magic the Gathering Online. And they got 5th place with it. It's the same challenge that I pulled the Golgari list from on these that got 6th place. Or I guess that wasn't the challenge. Different decks, different events. But yeah, this placed 5th. It actually performed well in some other things. In the actual qualifier, I think the best Bant listed 32nd. So to see this one kind of come out in that top 8 catalog was pretty cool. So we're going to give it a run here, and I hope you all enjoy it. If you do, please be sure to subscribe. I truly appreciate it. And let's just get out there and game. Okay. So I fixed my headphones because it's been a minute. We'll keep. We have the most aggressive 1-drops of all time right now. But my internet's been really slow. We have like a storm warning kind of thing, like a winter storm warning. So it's like a little bit awkward. So my internet's a little bit awkward. So if I randomly disconnect or this video doesn't make any sense, kind of why. Ooh, Rot Priest, really cool draw, really cool draw. If we just like commit way more to the board and just lose all this to our brothers in, and be really, really sad about it. I don't really want to play the Rot Priest whenever I don't have a blue mana. Like, actively open to pitch. Like, I don't have enough blue mana here to actually protect it. Now, I can play Rot Priest next turn and protect it with the Skrell that's in play. That's fine with me. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's move into combat. Turn some stuff on. March can't protect anything regardless, so let's play this. Because worst case scenario, we leave 3 Phyrexian creatures behind that have Toxic on it. Here's your other white. Combat. And realistically, I just swing out. That's 8. This one. Oh. That's a tough one. There's no way to get rid of poison. This is automatically lethal. Unless you... I guess you could... They don't have a blue available. But a card that we actually have to be kind of careful of is you can actually Tidebinder the Rot Priest. So that is something we'll have to pay attention to later, especially if we're against blue, black, or Esper. Oh, I didn't think about that until just now. Alright. We'll keep, because we'll have the Merrics to make a blue when we need it. And we have like a really good 1-drop into a 2-drop that puts a lot of pressure on early with the Toxic. Mechanic, blue, black, untapped. Again, same scenario. We're going to hold up the snare. Especially next turn, and it also will proliferate. We see a 2-drop come down. No, just removal. So tough. I think I'd rather not play a land here, which is like annoying, but it is what it is. This is the reason we choose not to. We find land, which inherently I would imagine for them is quite annoying. Let's play a creature that also has Toxic and that we can kind of try to tempo out. Could have done it the opposite way, but this only takes a creature with mana value 3 or less as well. And if we have to return a bigger card like Shieldred back, we will gladly do so. This is an artifact creature. This is not. This can technically get removed by a cut down, which sucks. Of course. Now we can Fading Hope our own creature. Do this. Make sure we use the blue from this. There we go. Bounce that. Proliferate. Goes to combat. We attack. Get more proliferating in. Then we in turn. Or I said proliferate, but I more mean the poison. Spyglass first. Sure. It's all good. That's also good. Our mastermind's fine. They put that in the bin. This we pass, right? I guess it doesn't matter if they do it now or later, right? Because then we'll just play the sentry back down. Or I guess we can't play the sentry back down. They let me untap. They do. Okay, great. Stack. Oh no. We saw this coming. I'll proliferate them. Yep. And now it'll just be trying to get there with a few Phyrexian creatures. In attack, weirdly enough, they'll make a 1/1 lifelink here, which is fine overall. You have. I'm gonna play it back down again. No. That's cool. What if what if they drew a mastermind, huh? I guess I take the trade regardless. Bounce this. Yep. Next. Back. Right. Not removing that preacher at all. We're gonna fire this off and make 2 tokens. Then we're gonna play a sentry. I think they wanted me to play the sentry so they could try to counter it or something, or interact with it a different way, and we chose not to do it. Opponent goes first. I have Skrelv and the Duelist. Still, the blue mana's a little bit tough, but you know, sometimes we gotta do what we gotta do. Wow. Tough. That's tough. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. What are you playing? This is in your deck. If this is ninjutsu, that'd be sweet, but it's not. Tragic. Yeah, I can't block either way. Is it? Oh, it is. Hey, yeah. Pretty cool. Play a duelist. Nope. I have to give our little thing protection. They can play the moon circuit, try to tap my Skrelv, I guess. Realistically, they should. I guess it doesn't really matter, right? Regardless. Phyrexian here. All blue. Maybe they fading hope it. Something. Very possible. A lot of things happen here. I'll lose the ninjutsu. This is crazy. I guess. Uh-huh. This is a wild deck to lose to. It's like so lost already. I can feel it. Because ninjutsu is an activated ability. You can't really just counter that. Legendary, non-legendary. Gotta just be a pass here, I think. We'll see what happens. We obviously are holding up in Ganjo, but whether or not they believe me, I have no idea. Yeah. Here becomes the hard part. Watch him counter this. Watch how we lose this game. You ready? Oh, like Fading Hope. Okay. I thought they were going to ninjutsu something, which they still get to do here. You just ninjutsu the Ginger Brute. Still hit me for a ton. Or a little, slightly more. Or do it the opposite way, so now you can't play the creature back down. But sure. Never mind, doesn't matter. And they rip a schooner. Oh boy. They can make this on whatever. Huh. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if I can grind this game out. I'm good. I don't. Nope. I'm good. I'm done. I no longer play. We go first. I mean, stick 1-drop. 2-drop to kind of follow it up. Yeah. Yeah. On one hand, I kind of want to play this, I guess. Do I want to play that first? No, I want to play Raw Priest, I think. Argument could be play this because then you're left still with a toxic creature left behind, especially if it's laying cut down. We get to the point that we get to play a land and not have to do anything. We hold up, bring the end for a go for the throat on this. Or something else like that will do. You can obviously put it under the sentry, but I prefer to do it the other way. We play chorus, we go to combat, we attack. Fading Hope is okay. Kind of just use it as a proliferate spell right now. Resolve the Rot Priest token, or Rot Priest ability. Now we'll bounce Rot Priest. We'll take another. We'll scry. Duelist is great. Okay. Rot Priest. Duelist. Alright, go ahead. We play a card with mana value 3 or less. Asking or a friend, or we play Mountain and then Brotherhood Enemy and I will cry. I'm left with 1 poison creature after that, I guess, which is cool, but I think they're sitting there like, if this is another Fading Hope, they're just so mad. It'd be really funny if it was, but it's not. So we gotta do, opponent. The reign is yours. Okay. Well, they are no longer participating in the game. The game's over. We just have to wait for them to time out. We'll be on to the next one, I suppose. Next. Turn. And then we have to wait for them to time out a 3rd time in a row for them to concede. Oh. Sit back, relax, and enjoy your time. And just like that, they time out, and the toxic deck doing its job at making opponents want to rage and quit. Ooh, this hand is risky, but we will keep. I love a good risky hand. Rot Priest. Honestly, if no removal for Rot Priest, but there's not. Second Mirrors is good. We attack first. We then fire off the Augury. Try to find a blue source, in which we do. Obviously, March would have been nice, but need a permanent blue here and a white. Like, it just works out completely perfectly for us. Oh, even better. But if we stop drawing land stuff now, that'd be great. Oh, another poison gets through. What is our opponent's play? Play a Rafine. That'd be really cool of you. Blocks. All right, that works. So we're gonna let this resolve for a couple of reasons, and we'll see why. Pass. We're gonna do this. We're gonna make 2 mites. We're gonna go into this turn. Ooh, that makes things even more interesting, huh? Because now I can even protect it if I want to. Yeah. We play out of car waste. We leave up our 1 blue. We play the sentry. And we remove the preacher. Move the combat. We attack. Unless I just missed. No, because I had to get that out of the way. We can only make this for 2. We got 2 rot priests. It would be lethal, but right now we don't. Sure. Yeah. I think this works. Let's phase them out. I was thinking I would be 1 short still, but I won't be. I don't know how I was thinking I was 1 short, but I did. Block there. They have removal. I was 1 short if block plus removal, they go to 9. But the problem is, Rot Priest would still have given them 1 poison, so it didn't matter. I think the hard part about this deck a little bit is like trying to remember your Rot Priest math, because it comes up like what does trigger it, what doesn't trigger it. Lauren's Path, because this wasn't a spell, this was an ability, it didn't trigger Rot Priest. It's very weird. So it works out in our favor. We feel pretty good about that game. Feel so painful though. I mean, if this is mono red, we lose mono red, sure. Ant. Potentially domain. Let's see. Means we're gonna probably slam the hive here. Get a hit with a ley line binding, probably. Yep. Endless mites have come to play. There'll be a ley line binding potentially at some point here, or a herd migration, sure. One of the hardest parts for this deck, the domain deck, against like the hive and the poison style deck, is your life total doesn't matter. It's everything else that matters. And when life total doesn't matter against you, it becomes pretty hard to like justify it. For example, playing in a Traxa doesn't mean you automatically win, because your opponent's able to interact with that. Attack. You can always snare or fading hope it. A little part of me wants to fading hope because but the only problem is I would much rather gonna be 1 lane short. Do 1 lane short. They can ley line binding still, but bounce 1 so we can scry. That good enough? I'll have 2 big blockers. Kind of not really, I guess, right? Yeah. Attack here. Sure. Now it can be land, play other one, play Atraxa. We can still bounce the Atraxa, things like that. They'll be tapped out though, which will be nice for us. Pass. Maybe Sunfall even. See. Sunfall here. Sunfall. Sure. I already played a land for turn. Sunfall doesn't seem like it. Bounce. Fair enough. It's like a weird thing that you have to do. I get it. Oh boy. Do this again. Proliferate once again. And we're just setting up for the March lethal. We only need one poison to get through, I guess. What's currently on board. There's a lot of things that could happen here. Do this. I have a leyline binding. They haven't shown me one yet. I feel like this would have got taken a long time ago. Fairy Stomper, sure. Don't need a lot. We do not need a lot. That's all we need. Yep. Obviously, we throw that to the bottom just in case somehow they found a way. But I don't think they have a single mana open, correct? Yeah, no mana open. So, yeah, the game's just over. Very cool. Very cool. We'll take it. We'll take it. Oh, we go first. Ooh. Look at this hand. This hand is kind of cool. We don't have a blue mana for later, but who needs it? You know what I'm saying? Play Skrell. Maybe they remove Skrell. Ooh, artifact control. This will be interesting for sure. That's truly what this is. Try to the top both. Hello? Help me. Play Rot Priest. We'll play the course. Then, on one hand, I would love to attack. I think attacking does me really no good here. Yeah, okay. Sure. I have no reason to hesitate, interact. Combat. Attack both those. Sure. We don't have a blue for our Fading Hope here, so what's on board is kind of what's just ready to go. Which does suck a little. Like to hit that third land drop and just be way more solid here. Yeah, because that's just gonna be probably GG. It's just east, so whether I do any protection or not doesn't matter. We find land now. In turn. And we find a blue land. That would have been really nice to get that Rot Priest out. What do you do now? Own it. Field Ruin? Field Ruin's probably got value. Sure. That it? Alright. We'll make 2 mites. It's slippery time. Oh, and now we have the blue mana available. Very nice. Move to combat. Let's hit. Sunfall is an obvious option for next turn. So I do nothing and then I just charge the mites again, I think. And then it's just fine to proliferate spells from there. Sure. What is this gonna hit? That's fine. Seems like a strategy, that's for sure. Take 2 more mites. Uh-huh. Let's play Rot Priest here. Let's move to combat. Player these as attackers. Pick. Now we can do this for 3, pitching this 1, 2, and 3. Now 3 more will go in a stack, plus this other 2 will come in for a total of 5. The main problem being that those are now phased out. So say they sunfall the board here, like those creatures are no longer in play. You can mill me. That's fine. You're gonna have to find out the hard way. I think they just realized that even if they farewell the board here, or temporary lockdown, do pretty much about anything. The fact that our creatures are phased out and we get to keep them all because we don't allow them to actually have the blocks follow through. So we phase out everything perfectly. These 2 hit, we get that extra in, and now farewell, board wipe, anything of relevance. They have to do it all at instant speed, and if they target a creature with a spell, Rot Priest will then trigger once we untap. And again, any proliferate spell, none of these do it apparently. But that means we still have all 8 in the deck, and then bouncing any creature that we make, even if we have to play Skrelv and then bounce it to get to proliferate. So be it. We find a way. All right. Initial thoughts. I think the deck's cool. I'm glad like the archetype exists in general. Unless, you know, I'm on the other end of it and I'm playing a deck that can't beat it. Because there are definitely decks in the meta that can't really beat this deck. For example, you saw against Control. If we hit 4 lands and one of them's a Mirrex plus like the proliferate spells and kind of the Rot Priest shenanigans we get to do, it's just so hard to beat that deck. Like beat this one specifically for them. So that sucks. And especially like if you're on the other side, you run into that like best of 1 variance sometimes where you're like, I could beat this in theory, maybe if there was like you know, a game 2 and a game 3, but in best of 1 where Toxic really finds it, like you will just get wins because you are submitting toxic creatures in your deck and they cannot heal the toxic. And as we all pretty much know, Melina, the green-white creature that only allows you to get 1 poison a turn, no longer really playable. It doesn't really slot into any deck. I think the only one that would sometimes play it is Joda, just because it is a 2-mana 3/3, I think. It's a big creature that does have like just kind of a nice solid passive effect. But without it anywhere to be seen whatsoever, this deck can run free. We can reign elite and free. However, I will say overall, I felt pretty bored playing the deck. Like some matches I'm winning and I'm kind of just like not really doing anything. Like it has the same feel as like mono red in a way, but just slightly different, in which you do have decisions. You sometimes do some cool stuff. Like for example, I think the March play we just did against Control, like that's a cool play that like you don't really get to do in some other aggro decks. But overall, we are pretty much the play threat, do the thing. Did we get there? Yes. Are we close enough to stick around and play? Yes. If not, we just pretty much concede and move on. Like when we get locked out, we're locked out. Like there's not really too much we can do. A lot of times we're not going to hit the land drops. As you can see, our land count is at 22. So getting pretty high on the land drops is pretty tough. But I guess I do play 2 basics. The thing of taking a deck that won a challenge, but did well in a challenge. You're not going to remember every card in there because you didn't really construct it or add anything. I have 21 cards or 61 cards. That's something by accident. I might have added an extra land by accident at some point. I have no idea. But either way, I do hope you all enjoyed. I do think Rot Priest is a little underplayed. I think it's just hard to find the archetype for it. It's hard to find a build for it because you want to be all in the spells deck, and like the teamer deck isn't that great. Any teamer type of deck where I would find this deck to go really well, and like the spells deck where you can play the March to do the big things and you play the token producers, or even like Bant in general. Like obviously we're playing Bant here in best one, strictly speaking. This deck sometimes finds a hard home, but it does, I think, pick on Domain, and Domain struggles to beat this deck. So in best of 3, you just run against Domain. they're having a really good time. And here's, of course, the sideboard. It should be in the deck list, so you don't have to pay too much attention to it, but you can see where we're kind of ready for that mono red matchup, or even like the big temporary lockdowns, stuff like that our opponent might have to play. But other than that, I do hope you all enjoyed. I'm going to call it here. Thanks to Game Nights. Had no idea that I probably played in their deck, but they end up placing 5th in a standard challenge with this list and bringing it back to the fold. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll catch you later. Goodbye.